Wednesday, Bluesday, Betterware, Tuesday.
No.
Is it Wednesday?
No.
Is it Thursday?
Shut up.
Is it Friday, Saturday, Betterware, Saturday? Maybe it's tomorrow and maybe it's not. Maybe it's yesterday. I just forgot. Maybe it's tomorrow and maybe it's not. Maybe it's yesterday. I just forgot. Hey, what day is it? Could you please tell me? What day is it? What day is it? I'm confused today. Oh!
And now from the apocalypse. It's his bunker. It's his rules. It's his game show. Fuck Chachi. And now here's your host, Devin Pike.
That will actually be a relevant thing here in a little bit. It's not that he has a Scott that I know. Probably doesn't. Welcome to Universal Remote is the online quiz show with production value equal to or greater than several international news organizations live and direct from Network 23. My name is Devin Pike. Yamo Devin Pike. It's the same in any language. Thanks for joining us for our weekly trivial diversion, and in no way will we let the Dallas Observer's Best of 2020 award for Best Game Show go to our heads. In fact, I don't even remember that it happened. I'm not even exactly sure that there's even any evidence of it whatsoever. I don't think it's actually accurate. A massive welcome once again to everyone who follows the Raid from the Free Play Arcade Twitch channel. Apparently, Twitch didn't think we were online, but we are, and we're glad to have each and every one of you guys there. Is my audio odd? Shouldn't be. Shouldn't be odd whatsoever. All right. Try that and make sure that that's the case. I hope it's not. I'm going to look and find out. While we're going to do this on the fly. Oh, okay, that's why. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, much better. Thank you, Shannon. I appreciate it. It was actually a you have yours on mute. Well, that makes sense. That that the show sounds better on mute, to be honest. A massive welcome to everybody who followed out from the Twitch channel. Generally, we have all of our ducks in a row. I mean, that's why we won the Dallas Observer Best of 2020 game show. I mean, it's a professional organization. We have a well-oiled machine. It goes great every single time. And also, we are actively debasing ourselves to you, humble viewer. No, we're the humble broadcaster, amazing viewer, to support the show. If you've gotten any enjoyment out of our trivial diversion over the past year, we humbly ask for you to kick a couple of shekels our way with our Universal Remote Patreon. There's levels for every sort of support, including a very killer sustaining Patreon coffee mug, which I think we found in the bottom of Terry Gross's closet. Go forth and pledge at patreon.com/Universal Remote. Got a great show for you tonight. Paul Varghese is our special guest this evening on Snack Time. And I miss Paul. I think the last time I saw Paul was at the Oscar watching party. Remember parties? Remember bars? If you remember them from recent behavior, you're part of the problem. Wear a mask, stay home. As for the rules, it is incredibly simple for you to play. All you have to do is to go to baconsamurai.tv/YouAreLive if you haven't already done so. Then play along by putting your answers in the chat window. It's either on your right if you're on a desktop, down below if you're playing on your mobile. And if you're watching this live via Twitch or YouTube, you can look over here at the chat window and see all these jokers who have the answer wrong, and you got it right, which means you should be playing along with us. The first three people to answer the question correctly get the points. It's 30 for first, 20 for second, and 10 for third. And those points double in the second round. Every correct answer gets points. That's it. Pot's right. We're locked and loaded. Let's wheel them around and get underway with our first category of the evening. Pay attention. It is our weekly dive into the last 7 days of pop culture happenings. No, there are other things happening other than the election. We promise. We're going to figure out what you guys are paying attention to. I did that. I apologize. That's why I turned on the microphone, so you guys can hear me clearing my throat. Question number 1, he's serving 6 years in jail for fraud. So what did Fire Festival organizer Billy McFarland do this week to get thrown in solitary? Where is that? There it is. It's right there. And you're not going to hear it because without the microphone going into it. Never mind. Well-oiled machine. So yeah, Billy McFarland did not get thrown in solitary for selling bad sandwiches. I will tell you, I'll give you that much. It's not what he did. All right. Question number 2. Wither Quibi. The short video streaming service announced that they were going the way of HD DVDs and Friendster by closing up shop. What former studio mogul headed up Quibi? And he convinced investors to give him over $2 billion in startup cash. $2 billion. Ridiculous. Looks like we're really behind. It's very bizarre. There's something funky going on. I'm not going to pay attention to it. I'm just going to keep going. And we'll keep drifting. That's how it works. All right. Question number 3. Adding to the long list of Hollywood elite holding reunion performances to raise money for Democrats, like they do, because that's just the way they roll. Saturday night, some of the Happy Days cast reunited for the first time since 1992. What state's Democratic Party are they raising money for with this reunion? Once again, this past Saturday night, a lot of the cast from Happy Days showed up to do an online reunion to raise money for a state's party. Scott Baio didn't show up. Hey, what's happening?
Fuck Chachi.
All right. Fair enough. Chachi was not there. And question number 4. The series You, Netflix's Antidote, ever want anyone ever again just signed which former werewolf to be a cast member for the upcoming season. I love that show. Really do. It makes me. It's the only thing that makes me go ahead and single at this point. All right, that wraps or round number 1. Let's go directly round number 2. Old school rules. Oh, kids, Slender Man, Bob the Beard Hog. Back in my day, we didn't even know what color was because our TVs are black and white. Because they were black and white, you had sisters. You have to answer questions about the first families of 60s TV horror. Question number 1. The Addams started as a cartoon string on New Yorker when it was adapted to television. Addams hadn't given them names yet. So what Addams family member was not in strips, but was added for television. Without music, you can behind me. All right. Question number 2. I need you to explain this to me. So Herman Munster is Frankenstein's monster. Lily is a vampire. What is Eddie? Once again, if Herman is Frankenstein's monster, and Lily is a vampire, what does that make Eddie? Little Eddie Munster. What does that make him? I really need to know. I don't understand it.
All right, question number three. Let's see how many of you know the song I'm Not Just How Uncle Fester Farted. Sing along with Pigman and give us the next line of the theme song. Hit it, Pigman.
Their house is a museum where people come to see them.
I think we need to hit it. We need to hear Pigman one more time. His dulcet tones are amazing. Let's hear it again. Let's hear it again, Zach.
Their house is a museum where people come to see them.
I swear, I love it. I can't wait for karaoke night with Pigman. I think we need to string that together for a week's sleep. Our final question for the first round. This famous car designer built not only the iconic Munsters Dragula. Can't hear me, bad audio? Really? Jesus. All right, hang on. You need to be able to hear me for that stuff. All right, to answer that question, I'm going to futz with the audio for a second. Let's try this. Where's that? Yes. I bet that's it. I bet that's what's going to cause it. Did that fix? Was that 2 mics on? All right. Hey, Slack, let me know. Dallas Observer, best of 2020. Better? Okay. All right. I'm glad it's better because that wrapped up round 1 with our... And of course, that leads us directly into snack time. Our guest for this round of snack time is a very dear friend. He is somebody who you probably know from from seeing him on Last Comic Standing. He's a veteran of the local stand-up comedy circuit. He's done punch-up for a lot of other amazing people and a former denizen of the Uptown Pub along with me. Please welcome our snack time guest, the amazing Paul Varghese. Paul, what's going on, man? There you are. Hey, man.
Are we good? There we go. Hey, how are you?
I am fantastic. It's amazing to see you. How are you, sir?
I'm holding in there, man. I grew the mullet out, as you can see. The hair is all moppy. I look like one of the Gallagher boys from Oasis. So anytime I wanted to clean it up, I was like, COVID's not done yet. This is a constant reminder that we're in COVID. So I'm bringing it back.
One of the best things about your social media presence is that regardless of whether anybody has ever met you, they know of your amazing dog Zemo. So I'm curious, who is better groomed at this point, you or Zemo?
Zemo is. We can get Zemo up here. Let me see if I can get Zemo up here. We got 2 dogs. Let me see if I can get Zemo up here. Zemo, come on. Let's go. There we go. Here we go. Come on. Let's go. And it's not going to happen. Anyway, take my word for it. He's great. He's great. Hey, best show observer, right?
This is why we got the new award. Oh man,
this is gonna happen all
now
day.
We've got him going.
Yeah,
Now he's not going to shut up the entire rest of the show.
I got it. Okay. But yeah, things are going good. Things are going good.
I ask this of all my guests here while we're in quarantine. What is your alcohol beverage of preference, and how many times have you run out in the last 7 months where you've had to restock?
So I will tell you that I'm not much of a home drinker. I relegate that to the public. So right now I'm drinking cherry apple juice, which is my melatonin kick. That's what I discovered in quarantine. So.
I don't know if Maddie serves that Uptown. I might have to put that on the menu.
Your microphone is being buzzy. So I don't know what you said.
Plus, I'm in America. This is killing me.
I don't know what's going on here. It's making me insane. Every single week there's something different that's wrong. I don't know. Is there something bad on your end?
Yes, on my end, but I can kind of pick. My parents have a very thick accent, I can work with you. I can figure it. I can put it together. It's okay.
All right, then at least hopefully you can read my lips and I'll over-enunciate, which is what we do when we can't hear. It's not a frayed cable. Nice job, Shannon. Talk a little bit about your elevator speech for your career, because a lot of people know you from stand-up, but you're also a really talented writer, and you've been performing in the scene for at least a decade. I remember seeing you running around at Live 105.3 back in the Pugs and Kelly days and so forth. So give us the elevator speech of the Paul Varghese story.
So I started back in 01, in June of 01, and I kind of got pushed up really quick because there was a comedian named Russell Peters who he was one of the first comics to go viral in 04, right when YouTube had just started. And so everybody was like all, trying to book him for stuff, but they couldn't afford him. So I was like the Walmart version of Russell Peters. I was the affordable generic brand you could get. And that kind of shot me up. And that's why I got Last Comic Standing, and then I went up on Comedy Central and Showtime, and ended up touring with Joan Rivers the last year she was alive. We did a bunch of dates together, and then she had to be selfish and pass away and ruin my career. So, very mad at Joan Rivers, haven't let it go. No. And then that happened. And then, but I've been here, based out of here, and been traveling for a while. I mean, this is the first year that I've only traveled one time this year. I went to Houston last week, which is not really traveling. I guess it's not really traveling. But yeah, trying to figure out how to reboot everything, because like the whole world went on pause for 8 months. So we'll see.
So talk a little bit about your trip to Houston. Was that? I'm guessing it was a gig. You weren't just going to Houston because you were enjoying things at the time.
No. All my work is pretty much done for the year. It died, and it died along with March with COVID and stuff. So it's been a weird adjustment for stand up. It's like you never want to take time off, but your career is technically on pause. But the clubs here opened up. They've been open since June, so I've been able to stay fresh with my stuff. But the bookings are a tad dry.
Have you thought about I'm guessing that at this point, comedians are starting to try to figure out, can we make a circuit? Can we do something like a drive-in tour? Has that started to come around at all? Because I've started to see bits and bobs of that from the Northeast.
Yeah, I think Nate Bargatze was here last Saturday he did it. I think Eliza Schlesinger is coming in town in a couple weeks. They try to do some stuff locally, but I haven't done it yet. But from what I've heard, the response is cars honking and flashing their lights, and I don't really know how that would work. Those are both very heckle. They're borderline unhappy and heckle. I don't know if they're heckling me. I don't know if they're laughing. I don't know how to really place it. But I did a Zoom show for a while, for a few months with my buddy, and that was good for a while. But then people kind of get sick. Texas is very weird. Dallas is very weird. Like it's COVID's over to a lot of people. So what was exciting to watch on Zoom for a few months is not so exciting anymore. So. Yeah,
tell me about it. Trust me, I get it, man.
Good.
Have you given any thought? Okay, so let's say let's play hypothetical here.
Mm-hmm.
We are able to. Oh, hang on. I do remember there was one thing. I'll ask this question first, and we'll come back to the question that I had. We're done with. We finally have safety in numbers. We can go out in public. What is the scene going to look like? Because if clubs are opening right now, but if comedians are scared to get booked in, is it almost like crossing a picket line for comedians to be able to get these bookings for clubs that are open, and they're just looked at like, why are you doing this to the rest of us?
It was initially, but now, comics are very, by nature, because they're performing by themselves, very selfish people. So I really try not to be. I don't think I'm too much of it, but comics are all coming back, even the bigger names. I honestly thought that when COVID hit, that the bigger headliners from LA and New York would not want to fly into Texas because you have to quarantine and all that stuff. But that didn't stop those guys. It didn't stop the clubs from booking them. So it's almost kind of like it didn't happen. The crowds are great. They appreciate stand-up a lot more than they ever have in the first 19 years they ever did stand-up. So, but I don't feel like I crossed the picket line. I still do the protocol and the mask and everything like that. But once you're on stage, everybody forgets about all those things. So, Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I think the bigger situation is going to be the live performance that could really happen, like with concerts and bigger venues and on a weekly basis. So I really don't know what to tell you.
Do you think it's going to affect people heckling, and where people are just like, please just shut up and let us do our job, because the heckle just takes the energy out of the entire damn room?
Well, I've been heckled more during quarantine, not in the house from the girlfriend, and also on stage. The crowds are a lot more vocal than they were before, and I don't know if a lot of that is kind of the political climate. I mean, I do some pretty edgy kind of racial stuff, so maybe it kind of invites it, but maybe people are just itching to go out. I don't know, but there's definitely a more of a brave audience that's coming out vocally and physically. So
I guess people are just realizing that, hey, I'm not at home. I can actually, talk to my cat. No, I get to talk to another human being and try to throw them off their rhythm. God,
yeah, exactly.
I was doing research to pull up, bits and bobs about you. And I went and took a look for paulandoats.com. And I don't know if you know this, but paulandoats.com got hijacked, babe.
I know. So here's the story. So there was a comedian, and you guys can feel free to Google him. His name is Dan Ninen. Oh, look at that. Look at that little. Oh, is that it? Nice.
That's the part that I could show. The other part is, I mean, and we go hard R on here, but we're not going to go NC-17.
I'm surprised they found that picture of me, I can no longer fit in those. So.
All right, who's the guilty culprit?
Okay, so there's a comedian named Dan Ninen, Neinan, and he initially, when paulvarghese.com expired, which I didn't know it expired, he poached it and rerouted it to his site. So actually, yeah, right at the very end, he didn't. My site hadn't expired. He took my site and rerouted it to him, so it went straight to him. And so I had to go get a different site. I have an album called Paul and Oates on iTunes. And so I just made that site. I was in with paulandoats.com, and then the company that hosted it ended up just dying, and they didn't tell anybody that they went bankrupt. So I had no idea. By the time I get back, there's panties on there. So.
Well, I can relate to it because our site used to be universalremote.tv, and somebody bought the domain 3 years ago, didn't tell anybody, and didn't change anything until after we won the Observer Award.
Okay.
So it was, and we were going to take a couple months off, and it's like, no, we got to go back on air. Wait, we can't go back on air. This is just screwy. So
the thing is, I'm trying to figure out. I haven't figured out. Everybody else is trying to bake bread in quarantine. I'm trying to figure out a catchy domain name, but I don't want to do Paul is funny or Paul comedian. I need to find something like classic. But he owns both those sites now, so I'm screwed.
I wonder if he's the same guy who stole our domain too. Damn you, Paul! Damn you, Ninen.
I said we start a smear campaign and pull them out of the woodworks, have them confess.
I think we can find a couple of kids who are like bored with Anonymous, and we can just sick them on Ninen. I think that'd be a really, really great thing. Totally. So Paul, as part of the way that we haze our guests for being goofy enough to answer my emails, I'm going to ask if you want to read our third category questions. Are you good to do that with us?
I am ready to go. I'm all prepped.
All right. So our third category for the evening, hang on, let me pull up my script back up. It's Universal Monsters. So it's not just the home of the Fast Saga. Yeah, I can tell Pigman wrote this. They got monsters too, from Count Chocula to Fruit Brute. Universal has it all. Let us know what you know about these classics. Paul, hit him with question number 1.
What father-son team helped bring the Phantom of the Opera and the Wolfman to life?
Are you a fan of classic horror?
I watched it growing up because we didn't have cable. My parents wouldn't. My dad thought cable was the work of the devil, so we were stuck on 4, 5, 8, 11, 13. I'm thinking, what, 21, 27, 33, 39? I remember those.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 49 was the home shopping network. 52 was religious. And then the rest was static. So the only movies I could watch were black and white movies that they would show on Channel 37. And so that's why I saw Wolf. Not very scary. They don't hold up.
All right. Question number 2.
In 1931's Frankenstein and 1932's The Mummy had the same star as the monsters. What actor pulled double duty for Universal?
You said duty.
Duty.
Dallas Observer, best of 2020. I think I miss karaoke. I think I miss Robert Olivas doing karaoke. I think I miss him doing.
When are you going to feel comfortable about coming back out?
I can't. I have to cut myself off because I'm super at risk.
Okay.
I actually worked a karaoke reception on Saturday, and I'm the only person in the place wearing a mask. It was horrifying. It was so bad. Question number 3.
Question number 3. The director of Dracula, Todd Browning, is also known for directing this cult classic from 1932. Gobble gobble. Gooble gobble. Sorry, Google gobble. Google gobble.
I kept trying to type that in, and it kept doing the first one is Google, and I now know who owns the autocorrect as well as everything else.
It's that Dan Ninen guy.
Ninen, Jesus! I'm gonna send him a goat.
I'm gonna
find out what his address is and send him a goat.
Feel free to troll
him. Trust me, it's gonna happen. And our final question in the category.
The Creature from the Black Lagoon was released in 1954, 29 years after the first Universal Monsters picture, The Phantom of the Opera. How many sequels did The Creature from the Black Lagoon get?
Very, very groovy. While they enter in their answers, Paul, it's incredibly awesome to have you back with to see you again. I miss you so very much. I sincerely do, man.
Miss you as well, man. Maybe I'll FaceTime you if I'm at Uptown Pub. Maybe I'll do that. You're kind of like you're there.
I'm fine with that. That'd be great. And then I'll have an Uber Eats margarita sent over to you. Who the hell am I kidding? I've got mix after mix of old fashions and margaritas here at the house. I'm stocked.
Okay.
The people in Total Wine love me.
We'll go shot for shot.
The last time we did that was the Oscar party.
Yeah, it was. That was a great time too.
That really was a wonderful time, and I remember most of it. But I drove home safely. I did drive home safely. I did not drive impaired.
Yeah, I think in your brain they were already playing the Get Off the Stage music probably about an hour in.
Do you have any 3 hours? Do you have any gigs lined up at this point? Are you doing any live reads or anything like that? What do you got coming up?
So every weekend, if I'm not at the Improv in Addison, I'm at a club called the Backdoor Comedy Club. That's in Richardson. They moved to Richardson about a year ago. Mm-hmm. And then November 13th, I'll do my own thing at Opening Bell. That's the second Saturday of November at Opening Bell at 7 p.m. That's a Saturday. So.
Fantastic. The amazing Paul Varghese. You cannot find him at paulandoats.com, but you can find him.
You can't find true love there, though.
You can find, if you scroll down, you can find where one person really found true love. Paul, thanks a lot for being a part of Snack Time. We appreciate it, man. Have a great night.
Appreciate it, man. Take care.
See ya. That is Snack Time, kids. And why Zach, I did remember it. I don't think I didn't see that because I did. Let's do our final category of the evening. It is brought to you by the Umbrella Corporation. Horror in video games has been going on since the undead started chasing Pac-Man. I'm going to talk to you about some video games with more scares than Pigman's internet history. Let's hit question number 1. Centralia, Pennsylvania is a city that's basically been on fire since 1962 and yet has 11 people living there still. What video game uses the look of Centralia as its background? How do I actually get some help for this? The mic was so horrible all episode long until enough people beat me over the head with it. Makes me very, very happy. Question number 2. This game takes place 15 years after her mother went missing. You play as Amanda Ripley. What game am I talking about? I am not channeling Sean Connery. If I was channeling Sean Connery, I'd be reading Green Eggs and Ham again. I think we'll do All the Places You'll Go. That'll probably be the next one. Definitely do that one as the next one. Question number 3. This Capcom game debuted in 1996 and spawned the term survival horror. Name one of the 2 playable characters in the very first installment of Resident Evil. And yeah, it looks a little bit different because we had to just get it across the line today. Why did it kick me off? That's weird. Shouldn't do that at all. Our final question of the evening, which one of these games is not real? Nightmare on Elm Street for the NES, Friday the 13th for NES, Slumber Party Massacre for Intellivision, Texas Chainsaw Massacre for the Atari 2600, or Halloween for the 2600. Which one of those is not actually a game? Let's see. As we pull up the scores and the scoring table is rolled out for that, I do want to thank everybody involved in the production. Woody and Leslie on scoring, Zach twisting and tweaking and trying to draw me off sides, Pigman for his wonderful words of encouragement as I gear up for another Life Day celebration. We want to thank Free Play Arcade, where you can always head to freeplayinc.com/savethearcade for details on all their goings-on at all times. And if you're a fan of the show and want to show your love, please visit, I'm going to say it, our Patreon page at patreon.com/universalremote, where you can get great campaign swag like your very own Pigman shout-out clip. Once again, patreon.com/universalremote. Let's take a look and see how the scores went this time around. You want to chat? No ties. Thank you very much. All right. Third place. Wow, a good number of people playing this weekend. Congratulations, and thank you all for being a part of the festivities. In third place with 235 points, oh, wait, I can give you the scores. I can give you the answers as we did that. Back on Universal Horror, Lon Chaney and Lon Chaney Jr. were the father-son team who helped bring Phantom of the Opera and The Wolfman to life. Boris Karloff played both Frankenstein's monster and the Mummy in 1931 and 1932. The director of Dracula, Todd Browning, also helmed Freaks. Phenomenal, phenomenal film. Love it so much. One of us, gooble gobble, gooble gobble. And The Creature from the Black Lagoon had two legitimate sequels. It was Revenge of the Creature and The Creature Walks Among Us. As far as the video games go, Centralia is the backdrop for Silent Hill. The game where you play as Amanda Ripley was Alien Isolation. I actually liked that game a lot. Capcom had the first Resident Evil, I guess is my homeowners association. Jill Valentine and Chris Redfield were the two characters you could play in that game. And the fake game out of those that we listed was Slumber Party Massacre for Intellivision. And I'll tell you, I wouldn't mind playing as the Driller Killer. All right, I told you that John Gamera was third with 235 points. Roy Jaster Buckingham in second with 340. He sprinted over to this game after being one of the panelists on Match Game, so he's basically a crossover character at this point. And with 365 points, and I believe it's his second week in the top spot, Ken Goach. Ken, you are the smartest person on the internet. I hope you're happy with yourself. I sincerely hope that you're happy with yourself. Until next week, we are going to do it all again, and I promise that my insecurities will not get in the way. We will do it all again with another fun-filled, glitch-free episode of Universal Remote. Until next week at 9 p.m. Monday Central, my name is Devin Pike. Thank you very much for watching Universal Remote. We'll see you back again soon. Love, peace, hair grease. It's over, and we're out.
Tune in next week. Same Pigman time. Same Pigman channel. You're still here? It's over. Go home.